Welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. I'm Orit, dancer, instructor, and proud owner of a thriving belly dance fitness business. And in this podcast, I'm giving it to you straight, sharing what it takes to kickstart and grow your dance and fitness business for the success you deserve. Whether you're a seasoned instructor, a passionate performer, or dreaming of turning your love for dance and fitness into a thriving career, you're in the right place. Lace up those sneakers and pull on those dance shoes and get ready for truth smacks, tips, and inspiration. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to Dance Fit Biz Builders. I'm Orit, your host. And guess what, guys? Dude, this is like, holy shit. This is episode 77. 77. Whoa, I can't believe I lasted this long. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for shimming on over into my space, right? Willing to get educated on your free time. Really, I don't take that lightly. So thank you, everybody. All right. Where the heck has this lady been? I needed her 20 years ago. Get this, guys. So I meet this lady online, right? Her name is Cynthia, by the way, but I'll introduce you to her in this moment. And she's like, oh, Reed, I want to get certified in SharQui. I've heard about you, whatever. And then we start talking. We talked on, I think, FaceTime or whatever it was. She's like dishing out all this, like, body logic stuff. And I get your science behind your format. I'm like, what? I'm like, and this lady is not even certified in SharQui, and she sees it from afar. She sees the science behind it. And I'm like, wow, I've got to get you on. Because first of all, she is going to get certified sometime soon. But I think it would be such an interesting angle to have someone talk about the format and even about her who's not even certified yet. So let's hop to it, shall we? Cynthia, thank you so much for coming. Hi.
Thank you for having me. I feel really honored. I've been listening to your podcast for, the last couple of months, and all of your guests are really amazing and inspiring. And I learned so much from your podcast. So I can't believe I'm sitting here talking to you for this.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
So Cynthia, if you can tell our listeners just a little bit about you, right? Tell me about your dance journey. How did you get into belly dance?
I was one of those kids who was always dancing around all the time. And actually, my mom, when I was 4 or 5, put me in the typical ballet tap kind of situation. And at the end of the season, after a recital, my mom asked the instructor how I did. And the instructor said that Cynthia just wants to twirl around and around and do her own thing. And so my mom said, well, I guess dance is not for her. And she took me out of dance. And the closest thing I could get to dance was when Jane Fonda, I'm really dating myself here, when Jane Fonda came out with her first workout, which was a record album on vinyl. And you got a book that went along with it with pictures to show you what exercises they look like.
Cool.
My mom did it a few times and quickly tired of it, but I did not. And it was the closest thing I was going to get to dancing was aerobic dancing, jazzercise kind of stuff. And so all of the things that my mom bought to work out with that she discarded, I at like 9 or 10 was picking them up and doing them.
Wow.
And so I always loved that it was like dance, but it was exercise. And I kind of always stuck with that. So I was an exerciser throughout, my younger years. And when I was in my 20s, I wanted to actually learn to dance. And at that time, there really weren't very many options for adults to learn to dance. I mean, you really couldn't find a ballet class or jazz for a 20-year-old. So I said, you know what, I would like to learn belly dance then. I think it's beautiful. I think the music is beautiful. And I kind of naturally have an inclination to move like that. Some people just kind of it filters out of them a little bit easier, more naturally. So I went, and my first teacher was lovely, and she showed me a lot of Suhaila videos out of the with, and I really loved it, but I didn't have the money to continue. And fast forward till I was in my early 40s, and I had been teaching my daughter at home, and my life, it felt very small and centered around my daughter. And I just said, I really love to dance, and I think I'd like to go back to belly dancing. I wound up discovering this thing called tribal belly dance. So this is about 42, and I had never heard of it. And when I looked it up, it led me to a chance belly dance and group improv format. And when I saw it, I just loved it. I just felt like it resonates with me right now because it has a very powerful flamenco kind of posture. And it really just spoke to me. The different costuming with the old textiles and all of that history. I love all of that kind of stuff. And I like the folkloric moves also because I always loved Egyptian folkloric and the folkloric dances just a little bit more than the cabaret. So I started doing that, and that was the end of 2012, 2013. So now I'm finishing up my 13th year of dancing, and it's been primarily fat chance style, which used to be called American tribal style. It is no longer. And during that time, I also have studied Suhaila and have workshops with various people teaching folkloric styles and kind of a little here, a little there. If I like to be well-rounded, if someone is a good teacher, a good dancer, is particularly knowledgeable, I love to take a workshop with them. But exercise has been a constant in my life. I just feel it's really important. I have some health problems with autoimmune disease, and exercise is very, very important to kind of stave off a lot of the aches and pains. So I try to keep up with my exercising. And when I started dancing, it wasn't very long before I started having some aches and pains surface. The things, the imbalances I think that were in my body or the weaknesses, dancing just kind of brought them right up to the surface. And especially the style I was doing, which is very right-sided. We almost never work on the left or lead with the left side. And it started to bring out a lot of problems in my hip flexors, my IT band. And so I said, I'm not going to dance anymore if I don't learn how to fix these things in my body that are stumbling blocks. And so that brought me to get my group fitness instructor certification from ACE because I wanted to keep dancing.
Nice.
And when I got into the fitness instructor certification, I thought, my God, why doesn't every dance teacher have to take this course before they are allowed to get out? Because what I learned from that, and I'm working on the personal trainer certification now, which is even more in depth, but what I got from the group fitness instructor program, I just could not believe all the things that I had been told to do or not to do in my dance classes that were leading me to injury. And I thought, how many other people are going to dance classes and being told to do things that are not really safe for their bodies? And then they're quitting because they feel like this just isn't for me. I can't do it. I'm too weak. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that, whatever, blaming it on themselves when really it was because the instructor didn't understand proper body mechanics and what a proper warm-up is and when is the right time to stretch and all of those other things that are just basic exercise science. I've always had this outlook that if you're going to teach dance, you better know your exercise science material and you better understand how to design a safe and effective movement program for your students because your primary responsibility is to keep your students safe. Before even you're teaching them to be a good dancer, you owe them that they will not be injured in your class. And I also often hear that belly dance is a good form of exercise. It's a good workout, and it will get you fit. And I would beg to differ and say a straight out dance class, you've got to be fit to do that safely, not the other way around. And for me, my personal experience was dancing brought out a lot of weaknesses that I had, and then I got hurt. If I had been taught dance with a lot of attention to the conditioning and core work and other things that we have to do to strengthen the body so we can dance safely, I probably wouldn't have gotten some of the injuries I got. Um, and that's one of the reasons I do appreciate the Solemn Core format. I mean, I'm just going to like plug them a little bit. I feel like Suhaila really does have a good understanding of body knowledge and how to condition the body the same way in ballet. You would do your exercises at the bar to strengthen you before you go out and do the actual choreography or you learn your dance steps. So how I found you, and I love this. I heard one of your podcasts, you said that you do a lot of marketing with email and that kind of thing, but you have people who have been on your mailing list for like 20 years before they actually buy something or get involved. So I'm going to tell you, I saw you perform. I said, oh, wow, I love her. I love her dancing. I just love her energy. I love her athleticism. I just loved this positive energy coming out of you and the naturalness. Your technique is so good, but it just pours out of you so naturally. And I love that there's no pretense or affectation. You're just very genuine in your dancing. I became a fan. And I knew that you had the SharQui thing. And I said, I love exercise. Let me get this DVD and see what it is. So I got the level 1 with you with the pink cover. And I did the workout and I liked it. But at the time I thought, I'm already doing so much dancing during the week. I'm like, I need something else to cross train. I don't want to just do more belly dancing. I'm one of these people who like from time to time gets this cleaning bug and I go out and I just like throw everything out that I'm not using. Like I want to be a minimalist and that lasts for like a week and then I start collecting again. But every time I went through those DVDs and culled them and donated, yours survived the cut. Every time I'd have it in my hand and go, I really haven't done this. And I would say, no, I'm not going to get rid of it. So I kept it all of these years. So fast forward 10 years later, this summer, I was dancing at a little hafla in the North Jersey area. And Chris Ahmez, one of your instructors, was there. And the group conversation was about formats or something. And Solemn Core came up. And then Chris mentioned, you, and she was doing a SharQui thing there, I think, was a little belly dance workshop she was doing. And I said, I have a group instructor certification and I'm going to launch a dance and fitness business. I'm really looking for an exercise-based class that I can use to funnel students into my dance class. And I had looked at Zumba and I just said, no, I do not have the time in my life to memorize all of these choreographies to all this different music. This is not going to work for me at all. And I asked Chris, I said, is she doing this like Zumba? Like, do I have to memorize new choreographies every month or something like that? And she said, no. She's doing it in like building blocks. And once you get familiar with the system, you can design your own. It's very flexible. And then I thought, oh, you know what? Maybe this is what I'm looking for, because I also want to design a dance conditioning drills class for my students, my dance students, where it would be like 1 hour or 90 minutes and it would be all in one. I can get cardio in there, cardio conditioning for them to build up their stamina. I can get isolation drills in there for them. I can get some core work. I can get a nice warm up, nice cool down, and stretch session in there for them. And I knew I wanted to use what I had learned in Suhaila Level 1, which a lot of it's just the foundation movements of belly dance, right? But I just kept thinking, like, playing with different ways to put it together and going, like, this doesn't have the flow I'm looking for, right? It just seems like I pick music and it seems kind of choppy between song to song. And, it wasn't clicking for me how exactly to put this together and make this work. So after I talked to Chris, I went back and I pulled that DVD out, did it. And I thought, this is freaking terrific. This is exactly what I need to do. This is exactly what I need. And I just saw it. I was like, why do I have to reinvent this? Orit has already invented it. I just have to learn more about Orit's method, go to the Instructor Academy and learn exactly how to do this to tailor it to the students that I have. And from there, it's going to be really easy to create the kind of class I'm looking to create. And additionally, I can tailor just a straight out exercise class from this so I can attract non-dancer students who hopefully will love my class enough that they'll want to take the dance class. So I thought this is the program for me, because this is a lot of bang for my buck. Yes, you look at the cost of the program and you say, oh, well, that's a lot. Not really, if I'm going to be able to get all of the classes out of that once I learn the system. And when I started learning more about your system and learning about how you watching and going, oh, I see what she's doing from my group fitness certification and my unit and class design. I see exactly what she's doing. She's just applying how to structure, a cardio class or an exercise class to belly dance movement. It builds really nicely. It's super easy to follow. The cueing is really nice because it gives you a little bit of time to jump in there. You know what you're going to be doing next. You know what lead leg you're going to be on. The leg changes are built in, just like it would be if I was teaching a regular cardio class, like a cardio walk class or a step class. It's the same thing, only it's belly dance choreography. And I was like, oh, this is genius. This really speaks to me, because these are the two worlds that I live in, the fitness side and the dance side. And I don't have to think about how to merge them because somebody already has done it. I just have to bring my personality to it. I think that this is the right place for me. Like, this marries my interest. It is the perfect way to funnel students from dance to exercise and exercise to dance between the classes that I'd like to offer. Mm-hmm. It's a really great system that students can leave the room feeling good, like, I got this, I accomplished something, I really danced, instead of coming out of there going, oh, that was so hard. Yeah. So I just love that it's the fitness and the dance, and it's just fun and easy to follow.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Well, first of all, you answered almost half of my questions that I was going to ask, which is awesome, But some great golden nuggets that you had said was that, wow, after you spoke to Chris and then you went back home, saw the DVD, and then it clicked. You saw it in a different way now, right? I didn't discover it at the right moment. I discovered it, and then it was to just wait and sit until I came around to it. Yes. So I evolved. Yes, of course. Makes sense. And you had told me one time that you felt so one-sided, as you explained, right? Oh my gosh, yes. And then you did the DVD and you felt like, oh, okay, Orit's it's working it equally both sides. Yeah. I'll tell you about that. When I started with the Suhaila stuff, I started that because I was having all of these problems on my left side from doing the ATS, because we lead on the right side. We don't even drill on the left side. Okay. So I was having all these problems, and I was modifying steps to be able to do it. And then I started doing the Suhaila thing, and it was helping a little bit. But then when it got to doing the glute squeezes with a different timing on the feet with different foot patterns under them, where you really have to isolate the glutes from the leg, then that's resurfaced again, right? The weakness resurfaced in me. And then I started having problems doing the Suhaila stuff. And I just was like, darn, what is this, just my body? I'm just not going to be able to do this stuff ever. So after doing your DVD workout for, I guess it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, right? I went back to one of these steps that we have in Fat Chance style, which is calibrated spins, where all your weight is in your left leg and you're pivoting on it, right? You're spinning on it. I have not been able to do that step without modifying it. After you're doing your workout for just a few weeks, I went back to start working on those calibrated spins to try to see if I could do it the right way. No pain. And now I'm just about up to doing them full speed, the correct way. I should have always been able to do them. But because my left side was underdeveloped, I couldn't. And I just thought, I'm never going to be able to do this step right. And no one I really talked to had an answer. There was one person I talked to who was a member of the professional Fat Chance troupe. And I told her what was going on. And I said, every teacher has told me just modify the step.
And she said, no, no, no. You need to strengthen wherever the problem is and then do the step right. I just thought, keep trying to strengthen and I can't find what works. Well, clearly, 4-Eats workout works.
Wow. First of all, this is so freaking cool, by the way. And like, look, we're not dissing any other formats here. They're wonderful,
No, no,
beautiful
no.
formats.
Mm-hmm.
Psst. Hey, you. Yeah, the one who's spending hours prepping for your classes and hoping students come back and you're feeling like you're guessing your way through. Dude, I've been there. Guess what? It doesn't have to be that way. Inside the SharQui Instructor Academy, I teach you how to lead with clarity, lead with confidence, and with a method that actually works for both you and your students. Less stress, better classes, and more income. Can I get an amen? Just go to sharqui.com/teach to learn more and join us. That's SHARQUI.com/teach. What do you think? Like, there needs to be some sort of standard teaching curriculum, safety, versus non-safe. And
Yeah.
Cynthia, create one.
Well, I mean, I feel like Suhaila has really done an excellent job with that. She really has. But I would say that her program is it's super intense, right? So some people, it's not for them. Like, they get past level 1 and they're like, this is just too much. You have to really want to dance. You have to really love dancing. And I will say, I still feel like if you are someone who may have underlying issues, you need a class that is really an exercise-based class. Suhaila's classes, it's dance conditioning. It's for dance. Her program is conditioning you the way if you went to a ballet class, you're conditioning at the bar, right? So your program is different because your program is really rooted in exercise science. One of the things I love about SharQui that leads me to that versus maybe some other belly dance fitness classes is your program is approved by ACE. Your program is approved by the others, right? The NASM, National Association of Sports Medicine, and so forth, right? So that's one thing as a fitness professional that I look for, because I know that it's a really tough vetting process to get your program approved for CEs through those exercise programs, those certification programs. So if you are accredited by them, that means that you are following all the latest exercise science principles, that this thing is grounded in good exercise science. And that for me is a big selling point, because that's how I know I'm not going to get hurt doing this. Not only is it exercise, but it's kind of opening up different avenues for dancing.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So I'm like, maybe I can use some of this stuff in my dancing, So I love that.
Cynthia, so like these choreographies are just choreographies I've done in performance. I just squared them off for fitness. That's all I did. So that just goes to show you, like, this is not just a workout. You can even use this as a library of moves, if you will, for your own, performances. But what I love the fact that you said is that you appreciated that this was accredited by fitness associations. And it's so interesting that you say that, because back in the day in New York City, this is where I started the whole thing. And people didn't really like the fact that I was fusing fitness with belly dance, because they thought back in the day, in 1998, that's when I started, that I was making belly dance inauthentic. Yeah. And then, mind you, after many, many years later, they come to find out I am a person of culture, And so, but I never went forward with that. Oh, I'm someone of the culture. Like, I didn't care. I just want you to come and take my class because you like my class. That's all that mattered to me. But where I'm going with this is that it's a great marketing tool, because now you're able to reach more of the masses and then graduate people into your regular traditional classes later on. So it's interesting how now the mindset has shifted over to, like, now be a little bit more open to what you offer, how you offer it. But I have a question now. You had said that as someone who understands science, right? You notice the principles of SharQui and what makes it different and maybe
Mm-hmm.
even perhaps more effective than any other methods. But my
Mm-hmm.
question for you is, because of your science background, why do you think SharQui works so well for learning movement and keeping students motivated, especially someone who's not looking to be a dancer?
I think it's the way the choreo's built. You're starting with teaching a basic movement and then you're adding on. Some teachers, not all, but some dance teachers will teach by just showing you the whole movement and not really not explaining all that much, and you're just mimicking a movement. So you are using the exercise principles like that you would use to design a regular exercise cardio class. You're starting with some base thing, maybe a foot pattern. And then once the student gets that, then you're adding something else. Maybe it's hips. Then maybe you're adding arms, but it never stops. It keeps going, which is making it cardio, right? Like your heart rate never comes down. There's not a lot of talking, and then okay, let's do the thing, and then talking. So that add-on is occurring, and I think the students are in the groove, right, with the music, and I think they don't have time to think this is hard. Like, I think they just do it. Then you also use that method that we use in designing a cardio aerobics type class, which is where then you go from, we're going to do 8 reps of this and 8 reps of that. And now we're going to do 4 reps of this and 4 reps of that. Now we're going to do 2 and we're going to do 2. So you're bringing it down and you're slowly making it more complex. But the students are just following naturally that way, and their brain understands that kind of breakdown. So before they know it, they're doing the thing, right? They're just doing the thing. But if you show them that thing first and said, this is it, here's what we're going to do, now everybody copy me, they would just be like, oh, mind blown. That looks hard, right? But when you break it into those little chunks, those little bite-sized baby pieces, and then you do lots of reps, and then you bring it back down to the 1 and 1 you want them to do, or the 2 and 2 you want them to do. They're just doing the thing. And once they feel a little bit of success, they get this positive mindset that, yeah, if they could understand this, they're going to understand the next thing, right? And you repeat each choreo chunk enough times that if you miss it, we're going to do it again. Don't worry. We're going to go through this whole thing again. Right. And it builds throughout the workout. So each little block is building within each block. But then the blocks, when you put them together, are building throughout the 30-minute workout as well. So by the end, you're doing this whole choreo straight through. And in the classes I've seen, like at the very end, the instructor's no longer verbally really cueing you. You're getting to use your brain. Can you remember what you just did? And I'll tell you, I do not have a good brain for choreography. I really don't. But I'm picking up SharQui workouts. Why? It's because it's broken down. It's in chunks. It starts piece by piece. Mm-hmm. And then the blocks get all put together. You rehearse each block so many times that by the time you get to the end and you're going straight through, you learned it and you didn't even realize it.
I know. And here's another thing, Cynthia, which I love. People don't even realize that they're getting a technique class. They're getting the drills, the drilling. So it's like, hello, it's a tech. Yeah. It's hidden. The technique is hidden and they didn't even know it.
Well, I would love to design a class that is really based on your DVD for my dance students. Because in my format, the Fat Chance Belly Dance format, we do not have a separate conditioning or isolation drills part of the class. It's just the steps, breaking down the steps and then dancing. The students need to exercise the left side of their body equally with the right. And I want to have a class for them where they are getting their bodies into shape to dance in a balanced way. So I like the idea of doing a really great warm-up. I'm going to do that section of isolations like you do on the DVD, and then take that half an hour dancing building with the choreo chunks the way SharQui online studio classes are built. Because those classes are only about 30, 35 minutes. and you're getting a really great cardio workout during that time. You're exercising your brain, you're exercising your body, you're putting your technique into practice by drilling it in a really fun combo. So you leave there feeling like, oh, I really danced for 20 minutes or however long it was, right? So I think that what I'm saying is your program is super, super, super useful for dance teachers who teach whatever style of dance they do.
Yeah.
You can easily see how you can take this program and like plug in what it is you do to to Orit's format, right? To the SharQui format, and make it applicable to your own students' needs, right? Whatever dance style you are teaching, whether that's cabaret, whether that is a folkloric style, whether it's a fat chance ATS style, whether your guest Tyra, I believe it is, was on the podcast before talking about how she uses your format for the African dance classes she does. So I think it's a super, super valuable program and method to learn because it can enhance the classes and have you as a teacher can offer more classes, different kinds of classes.
Sure.
That currently offering, right? But you can plug it into whatever format you are using or whatever students' needs are, your own students' needs. You look at your students and go, oh, I see a lot of core weakness here. Okay, I can use Orit's method to address that for my students.
Thank you, Cynthia. Cynthia, I am so psyched to have you come in January.
I'm so psyched too.
I'm also nervous. It's like, shit, I got to be on point. Because sometimes I come with a little bit of a glass of wine during our coaching calls, just because, why not? It should be another food group. But anyway, you know so much about the body, about, fitness and teaching. But I'm just curious, what do you think for you personally might be the hardest part during the certification? And how do you see yourself working through it?
Yeah, we talked about this before, I think, a little bit when I told you what I thought my concern would be. And for me, because I have for 13 years danced a format where we do not talk. All of our communication is visual and like energy connection, right? So in the Fat Chance format, and this is one of the things I love about it, you have to really be present in the moment. Your mind cannot be wandering all when you're in class, when you're dancing, when you're performing, because the whole system is a lead and follow system. And we tune into each other and we learn to look for very subtle body cues, nonverbal cues to know what the lead dancer is going to be doing next so that we can all follow and really, really good troops. They look like they're synchronized. They look like they're doing a choreography, but they're not. It's improv. It's cued improv, right? So one of the things we learn in our format is zip your lips. You have to solve any problem that happens just eye to eye, right? You guys got to resolve it without words. So I have been trained to not talk, to cue without talking, to cue without making a weird facial expression or anything like that, right? Because you couldn't, if you turn your head the wrong way, you could be cueing something you didn't mean to cue, right? So you got to be very conscious of nonverbal cues. So with SharQui format, I have to go back to learning, like I once did with exercise stuff, to cue at the latest on the 7. I'm used to teaching my students by going, I'm going to give you very minimal verbal cues because I want you to start to learn to follow me without verbalizations. So now I've got to do the reverse. If I'm dealing with a group of beginners, I might even need to cue on the 5, right?
Of course.
So they need extra time to prepare for what they're going to do and what foot they're going to start on and that sort of thing. So I think for me, that's going to be the thing I'm going to have to practice the most.
Okay.
I'm probably going to be inclined to just change up a move and say it as I do it. And I've got to, start to get my brain thinking that I got to say the thing, not just think the thing on the 7 or the 5, but say the thing.
Right.
As a leader with Fat Chance style, I have to think the thing on the 6 or the 7. I have to know what I'm going to do next. Otherwise, it will look rushed and my followers won't be able to follow me. But I don't say the thing on the 6th. So now I'm going to have to, you know what's going to happen, Ori? I'm going to teach my regular dance class. I'm going to start saying the thing. Two formats separate in my brain.
Well, cool. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to have you. This is going to be great.
Oh, yeah, you're probably going to get a kick out of it.
So, Cynthia, this has been such a great conversation. Thank you. You are a plethora of knowledge. So I really, really appreciate
Oh, no, you are. What I know just scratches the surface. I can't wait to learn from you. Really, I'm so excited to learn from you and your teachers.
Oh, and same here. And I'm always learning from, every cohort. So thank you.
And can I just for a minute plug your podcast for you? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right.
Of course.
I just want to tell anybody who may be listening to this, because I'm gonna direct people on my Facebook page to this, obviously, that they should be listening to your podcast. And if you are a dance teacher, if you are a fitness instructor, if you already have a business, or you're just starting out like me, I stumbled into the podcast because I was interested in learning your exercise format, right? And I was like, oh, there's a podcast. I saw that on Facebook. Something came up, started listening to it and said, oh my God, Ori is giving like free entrepreneurship advice that is just absolute gold. This is so valuable for someone like me who is just starting out, especially someone like me. I'm going to be 55 years old. I am not of the social media age, right? The techie kind of person. So this whole thing is a new world to me. This kind of like, what should I be doing on social media? What, is it too much? Am I annoying people if I, post something on my Facebook page twice a week and, just not knowing what to do. And some of this stuff I've never heard of before, these things that you do to market now that we live in this digital tech age. And listening to your podcast, I listen to this stuff and I'm like running to grab a notebook and a pen and, I'm pausing it and trying to go back to write things that you said, and I already started implementing some things based on what I learned from you on the podcast.
Good.
So, even if you already have a belly dance or a fitness biz and maybe you're not like up to par with how you're marketing yourself. You don't feel like you're getting full classes every week. I would recommend that people just tune into your podcast and give it a shot and see if there's anything that they're learning from you that they don't already know, because I didn't know most of the stuff that I learned from your podcast. So I'm so appreciative that you put this information out there. If I paid a coach for some of this stuff, I would have already paid probably $1,000 for the information you're giving away for free on your podcast.
Yeah.
As you keep listening, the one thing I love about you two with your podcast, there's always inspiration in every podcast. Like you've always got a guest who's giving you this sense that you can do whatever it is you're trying to do. So you put that vibe out there, and the people you attract are also those people who are inspiring can-do types of people. And I love that. I love that about you. I love that about the pod. There are times when I listen to the pod and I'm like, yeah, I can do the thing. Like I was wavering, but I feel like I can do the thing, because they're telling me I can, and their story is similar to mine or whatever it is. And it's very inspiring. So this pod, I really think if you don't know about it out there, you should tune in for sure.
So then first of all, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. But I think I know how you're going to answer this. What would you say to someone who's intrigued by SharQui, but isn't sure if getting the certification is right for them yet? Would you say do the thing?
I would say if you really are unsure, all you have to do is give Ori a call and chat with her and consider signing on to the online studio. The studio has where you can give it a trial just for like $5 for a week or something. You don't have to commit. Go on and sample the different instructors and how they teach and see if it feels like a good fit for you. I know it was for me. I think if you're someone who's a dance instructor looking for a way to retain students because you want to make them happy and keep them moving and you don't really know how to do that, If you're a fitness instructor and you want to learn how to bring a different format into your class to maybe make it a little more exciting, you're a Zumba instructor who's sick of memorizing all these choreos. It's just too much work for too little money for you. Then I think give SharQui a try. Take advantage of that $5 1 week thing. Take the classes. See if it speaks to you. See if it's something you think that your students would like. I mean, I can't imagine that they wouldn't. It's a lot of fun. You leave kind of laughing and feeling like you accomplished something. It's a positive attitude. Your teachers are you could see they're warm people, like just online. They're just, they're nice, relatable people. You can make it as hard as you want to make it by really jumping into all layers and really pumping it up, or you can kind of walk it through easy. You can say, this is a little tough for me right now. I think I'm just going to do the foot patterns, and you can grow with it. There's a lot of options to scale this up or down, however you want to. You pick your level of challenge. I think there's so much for instructors. Take that free week, see if you like the format, call or read, talk to her, tell her what your reservations are. And then if you think if you think it might be for you, just sign up.
Thank you.
It's not a bad person. If you find it's not for you, I'm sure she'll work something out with you, right? She wants you to be successful too. That's what I've learned about Marie from the little time that I've known her and the personal exchanges I've had. And I feel like I know her from the podcast. Marie wants everyone to succeed.
Yeah.
And the support is there. If it's not for you, she's not going to hold it against you. But I think your phone call goes a long way in helping people determine whether this is the right program for them or not.
Thank you.
You're not there to build a pyramid scheme or something or cheat people out of their money, right? Like, you want it to be right for the person too.
Yes.
And if it's not, I can say without reservation, I think if it's not, you would say, hey, I don't think this is right for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or your teachers would say, hey, I certainly think Marissa would say, no, this isn't right for you.
Exactly. It's so funny. You know everybody. So cute. Hey, Cynthia, where can people find you?
Well, currently I'm building my website, but there is a link there to my Facebook and Instagram. It is under my dance company name, which is Lucky 13 Dance Company. The website is www.lucky13, that's the number 13, danceandwellness.com.
Wonderful.
Link to my Facebook pages there and see the latest classes that I have going on. So
go and check her out.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that by next spring, June the latest, I'm going to be offering some SharQui classes next year.
Yes, awesome. Check her out, folks. And Cynthia, we'd love for you to take us out with our signature outro in case you don't know it.
Sure. This is a privilege. I know what it is.
You do? Then go ahead. Do it up.
Thank you for listening. And until next time, go and kick ass.
That's good. Oh, you're such a Joyzy girl. Thank you.
So fun for me.